Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Community Church. We are a welcoming congregation where we strive to transform ourselves and the world through love, wonder, and connection. My name is Eric Kraft, and I serve on the nominating committee. One brief announcement. After the service today in the sanctuary, there will be a meeting of the endowment, an information meeting for the sponsored by the endowment committee, if any of you are interested in thinking about the long-term best outcomes for the church. Our service this morning kicks off our monthly theme of practicing resistance, and we will be considering how having a vision beyond tomorrow can guide us into the future we are fighting for. Whether you are here for the first time or the 1,000th time, welcome. Whatever you are facing in your own life, welcome. This is a place where we try our best to be real with one another, to get through hard things together, and to remind ourselves and one another of the values that ground us and center us, that motivate and move us. Whoever you are, whatever your faith journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. We welcome all who seek to know the sacred and all who seek to make our world more just. Welcome.
Height difference. I'm Reverend Sarah, and I use she, her pronouns. Our chalice lighting words are from the Reverend Michelle Collins, and Ellie will help us to light the chalice. Thank you, Ellie. Welcome all who are restless for a world renewed. We come carried by ancestors who refused the silence of despair and dared to sing a new song. Their courage whispers through us still. Today we resist by showing up together. We resist by keeping faith, in what is not yet. Our gathering is itself an act of sacred dissent, calling us to rise and unite as co-creators of a freer tomorrow. Please rise in body or spirit to sing our opening hymn, number 1017, Building a New Way, in our teal softcover hymnal.
Our commitment is to be together in covenant. So please join me in our affirmation of who this community is, beginning with that all-important word. Love is the message of this church, and service is our way. This is our great covenant together, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Please join me now, sorry about that, in a time of meditation and prayer. Find a comfortable place for your body, whatever that means for you. Noticing your breathing, finding your center. Take a moment to just be, allowing stillness to settle in. As I share these words from Liz Weber. Spirit of life, help us to be present with all that is our life, both our deepest sorrows and our greatest joys, so that we can truly live, engaging fully in our own life and in our community. Spirit of community, let us know how linked we are, how each one of us care, and all of the cares of all of us touch us all. Help us to ask for support when we are in need and offer our support to others when we are able, so that we may rest in the solace of one another's love. Spirit of love, help us to love our neighbor as we love ourselves, so that we might fully embody love and resist hatred. Spirit of resistance, help us to stick up for what is right, even when we are tired and afraid. Help us to dream of the world as it should be and act to bring that world about. Help us to find hope each day. Spirit of hope, help us through this day and each day. Help us to be present for all that is our life. And for all of this, we pray. Amen, and blessed be. So we return once again to our centers of connection every week because we know that rituals bring us closer together. We light our candles of hope and joy and place our stones of sorrow and fear to honor these inner experiences together. As the folks in the room participate in this ritual, those of you who are joining us online, please use the chat to participate. Write your name and stone or candle, and we will include you at the end of the ritual. If you'd like someone to light a candle for you and do your hope or candle of joy or hope for you, or place a stone of sorrow or fear for you, those of you in the room, Eric and Adina will do that at the end of the ritual this time. So hold those hands. Anyone who would like to come forward may do so now. Candles on this side, stones down the middle or around this way. and Michelle. And is there anyone in the room that would like a candle lit for them? Yes, I see some in the back. Thank you. And then at least one over on this side. But there's lots of people, so being patient. And we will place stones for Nikki, Cindy Kane, Jenna Cooper, Maria Linville, and Michelle. And anyone in the room who would like a stone placed for them, please raise your hand. Keep it up till she acknowledges you, so you make sure you get yours in. And now we place one final stone, the big one. Oh, it's already taken. Sorry. Someone had a really big sorrow today, so we have just a regular stone to hold all the rest of our sorrows. And then we light one final candle for all the joys that continue to burn inside of our hearts and spirits as we continue in this life. Please join in singing our sung prayer response, There is a Love.
Friends, and amen. Hi there, my name is Adina Danuf. I use she or they pronouns, and I am your director of Lifespan Religious Exploration. And our theme for this month is practicing resistance. And as the parent to a preschooler and a toddler, sometimes I think that maybe kids don't necessarily need to practice resistance, right? At least my kids are still pretty good at it. But for us grown-ups, we've been told and trained to follow the rules for a while now. So we need to practice resistance again from time to time, most of us. So I wanted to tell you about something that happened to me recently. You see, one day, I woke up mad. Like really mad. So mad that I could feel it in my whole body. In my shoulders and in the pit of my stomach, and my fists were balled up, and even my toes seemed a little ticked, right? And I could have tried something like deep breathing maybe, or yoga, or even talking to somebody about it, but I was really mad. And I had to move this story forward. So I decided to hold a protest. "This is a protest!" I yelled. But there was no one at my protest. Protests need people. Why is no one at my protest, I wondered. But then my inner voice said, "Did you tell anyone about this protest?" And I realized I have to get the word out, okay? So I told people about my protest. "This is a protest," I yelled. And "This is a protest," some other people yelled. Okay, but then we didn't know what else to say. We didn't have signs or banners or any catchy little chants. Why is no one saying anything at my protest, I wondered. But then my inner voice asked, What are we protesting? And I realized we need to have a cause. So I talked to people about our protest. I was mad, they were mad, we were mad, but we hadn't quite named what we were mad about. So we talked it over a little bit. We had an idea, we made signs. And holding those signs, I yelled, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, this is a protest, here we go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, this is a protest, here we go." And we knew what we were fighting for. I'm not going to tell you because it's not moving the story forward, but just know you know, right? But then we didn't know what we were supposed to do. What happens next, I wondered. And my inner voice asked, well, how do we know if we won? And then I realized a protest is like a pencil. You can be colorful, you can be firm, you can have a lot of them, but it all means nothing if you have no point. When things are not as they should be and you feel it deep down in your body, it's great to be mad. It's great to speak out about being mad, but practicing resistance means using your voice and following it with action. What are you going to do about being mad? And practicing resistance alone is good, but it's even better when we're together. It's great to invite others to speak out with you about being mad, especially using any privileges that you may have to amplify the voices of those in the margins. But practicing resistance means thinking about the actions you are taking. What are you fighting for? Why? How will you know if you've won? Unitarian Universalism calls us to keep love at the center of those answers. What can we do to include all voices, to ensure justice and equity, to honor inherent worth and dignity, and care for the earth in the process? We know what values bring us together, that's why you're here today, but we're still working together every day to figure out what actions those values call us to take. We want to know what the puzzle might look like when we're done, right? Yeah, we have some of the pieces. So my challenge to you this week is to get mad and then do something about it together. And I wrote a little note here that's my challenge, and it's a cause worth getting behind, but I have another one. Maybe if you are a kid this week, you save your anger and you're protesting for something big outside of the home and give your parents just a little break. Hopefully my kids can hear me. Okay, I'm done. Now let's get out there and practice resistance together, okay? But I hope for now no one will resist heading to class. Let's go.
Please join me in our offering and acknowledging all the ways we give to this church and this world. We give because this is our church, and we value what it does to us, for us, and through us to our community and our world. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this church inside and outside our walls. May we give in love and in hope. Thank you for your offering and all the ways you give to our life and ministry with your time, talent, treasure, and trust. Together, our gifts allow us to expand and strengthen the tapestry of love, wonder, and connection that blesses this church and transforms us and our world. Our reading today is made up of excerpts from The Cost of Resistance, a speech by Chris Hedges. The most daunting existential struggle of our time is to ingest the awful truth intellectually and emotionally and rise up to resist the forces that are destroying us. Revolutions and uprisings are spontaneous combustions. The tinder is recognizable. What sets it alight is a mystery. Revolutions, Rosa Luxemburg said, cannot be made at command. Our duty is only at all times to speak out plainly without fear or trembling, because while the moment of eruption is mysterious, it is the visionaries and utopian reformers, such as the abolitionists, who make possible real social change, never the practical politicians. Revolution is not ultimately a political calculation, it is a moral one. It is grounded in a vision of another world, another way of being. It is driven in the end by a moral imperative, especially since many of those who begin a revolution do not survive to see its fulfillment. The long, long road of sacrifice and suffering that led to the collapse of the communist regimes stretched back decades. Those who made change possible were those who had discarded all notions of the practical. They did not try to reform the Communist Party. They did not attempt to work within the system. They did not even know what, if anything, their tiny protests, ignored by the state-controlled media, would accomplish. But through it all, they held fast to moral imperatives. They did so because these values were right and just. They expected no reward for their virtue. Indeed, they got none. They were marginalized and persecuted. And yet these dissidents, poets, playwrights, actors, singers, and writers finally triumphed over state and military power. They drew the good to the good. They triumphed because, however cowed and broken the masses around them appeared, their message of defiance did not go unheard. It did not go unseen.
Once again, this week has been challenging, to say the least. I don't think I can name all the things that have gone terribly wrong this week in our world. Most days, I'm just trying to get through the day, hoping that I get enough sleep at night so that I can try to make it through the next day and whatever horrors it brings with it. But day after day, scraping by on a little joy and hope in solemn moments, hoping to have a better day tomorrow, that's just not enough anymore. I am ready for the future that we dream about, when everyone can afford to have a roof over their head and food in their bellies, when people can live their lives loving what the soft animal of their bodies love without fear or repression, when communities actually care for one another with mutual aid and compassionate accountability. When we are stuck in survival mode, we don't have the capacity to think beyond what is immediately in front of us. Can I make enough money to pay rent this month? Can we stretch this box of mac and cheese to last a couple of meals? Can the car go for a few more miles before we fill it with gas? Can I make it home today? When the immediate is so immediate, so urgent, all our energy and attention are taken up with the tasks before us, making it through. And this is what folks have been telling us for the last year or so is the point. This is what the government has been trying to do, and those who support them, what they're trying to do is overwhelm us and wear us down and tire us out. So all we can do is take it one day at a time. And yes, unfortunately, it is working. It's been working for longer than a year. Creating political and financial instability in the United States has been a decades-long project that has moved slowly at first and now is rushing forwards with this administration. The more people who are worried about affording their health insurance, the less they're willing to take to the streets or to join a general strike. The more people are happily distracted, trying to buy themselves happiness with consuming more and more and more material belongings, the less likely they are to look around them and realize that there's no amount of stuff that will fix what's broken in the systems that consume us. Our reading from Chris Hedges that Eric shared with us comes from a much longer article that can be found on his Substack, which talks about the importance of resistance to corporations, to governments that exploit and destroy not only us, but the environment. And it reminds us that the successful revolutions of the modern age have been built on the foundation of small groups of visionaries who refuse to be silenced. And so their message spread wider and wider. So even when we're feeling broken down and overwhelmed by life, people can be inspired to action with compelling enough vision for change. Which is why it's so important to have visionaries who are able to dream beyond tomorrow and share that vision with all of the people. Artists, poets, journalists, comedians take these messages and create meaning for the people who are just trying to survive. We so desperately need leaders who can share a vision for our future and lead our country out of fascism. Leaders who strive to change the world for the worse, who've spent the last several decades planning the destruction of democracy, aren't thinking only about tomorrow, and we cannot either. Because when people are being disappeared and dying at the hands of ICE at an alarming rate, when people are dying of preventable and treatable diseases at home and around the world, when our allies are preparing to protect themselves from us, when our government works tirelessly to destroy anything and everything that limits their personal wealth and unchecked greed leads the U.S. to kidnap a dictator and confiscate his country's oil, all of this happening in less than a year, in all of these things happening less than several months, you better believe there's a vision in place there. We need a vision, a unified vision of moral clarity based in shared values. Maybe, I don't know, maybe our UU values could align with them, and that could lead people from apathy to outrage to action, just like Adina said in her story. So if you're new or trying to scratch your head, remember what our UU shared values are. Let me remind you of our mnemonic device called JetPig. Just imagine a little pig with a jetpack. It's the first letters of the new values: justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity, all centered around and rooted in love. We have been striving in Unitarianism and Universalism for generation upon generation to have and share a vision for the future that is grounded in love. A vision that started with the teachings of Jesus in Christianity, but became more pluralistic early on, moving into transcendentalism, which was influenced by Hinduism, and into humanism. All of our influences have changed and shaped Unitarian Universalism, which is why transformation is a core value. Being open to change and integrating new information is what sets us apart as Unitarians and Universalists, and from our more traditional Christian neighbors, back even into the founding days of the 18th and 19th century in this country. Because of this love, that's the basis for all of these values, in which we believe that all are inherently worthy, which is originally based on the teachings of the Torah and the New Testament. Because of this universal worthiness, we are obligated to make sure that this world is just and equitable, making room for everyone to thrive. Because of these values, we also hold the value of generosity, because sharing what we have is the best way to make sure that the world is just and equitable, which leads to our final value, interdependence. We hold the value of interdependence because, as we have witnessed, all of us need all of us to survive. We can see that the earth and its ecosystems are so deeply dependent on each member playing its little part that if the food source for one animal dies out, the whole ecosystem can collapse. So as Dr. King wrote in his letter from Birmingham jail, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And so our values that are grounded in love lead us to demand justice for all, create equity through generosity, allow ourselves and the world to transform through embracing pluralism and valuing our differences while acknowledging that we are deeply interconnected and interdependent with each other and the planet that we live on. So maybe these values can lead us to a vision that can spark the revolution. Who knows? We gotta try something, right? Or maybe at the very least, they can inspire us to resist apathy, to resist overwhelm, to resist shutting down, and maybe together find the strength to fight fascism. We must rise together, both to resist the fascism around us and to join our voices in song. We're going to be singing for our lives, or We Are a Gentle, Angry People, which is number 170 in the Gray Hymnal. It's written by Holly Near as a protest song after the death of Harvey Milk. So please, we are going to be singing verses 1 through 3 and 6. There's too many verses to sing all 6, so 1 through 3 and 6. So please rise in body or in spirit to sing We Are Gentle, Angry People, or Singing for Our Lives.
We
As we prepare to end our service, I invite you to reach out to one another, hold hands if you're comfortable. If not, elbows are fine, or just hold your hands. When you go from this place, take your anger, take your outrage, and put it into action, and resist as much as you can. When you go, go in peace. Salam and shalom.
Leave this place knowing that you are good and knowing that you are loved.
Blessed be. Take your dark and your light and your love from this place and share them with the world. And stay safe until we are together again. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Enjoy coffee hour and have a great week.